That, ooh. I don't want to touch it. I think it's gonna be hot. Oh, it's on there. Ooh, ooh. Hola, YouTube. Me llamo Sus, or Jesus, or Jesus, like my whole family and everybody calls me. Welcome to Rest of Fireworks, and on today's episode, we have to do the intake manifold gasket on this 1997 Dodge Ram. It's a 1500, 5.9, thick and fine, Magnum. So we're gonna go ahead and get started by dropping the intro right now. All right, guys, so first things first, we'll remove all the coolant off of this because this top radiator hose, it runs straight into the intake manifold, and we don't want to get the coolant mixed with the oil. And so yeah, so the coolant already all removed. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna remove the top section, meaning the AC compressor, the alternator, the AC compressor lines, the top radiator hose. We're gonna remove all the electronic components, basically disassemble the whole thing. So I'm gonna show you guys step by step on everything. But first we're gonna go ahead and get started by removing the AC compressor and the alternator. For that though, we have to get rid of the serpentine belt. So, and it's a tensioner pulley, so just loosen up the tension, slide off the belt, let go, and there it is. So there's the belt. Now all cars, if you're ever gonna remove the intake manifold, it's the same procedure. You wanna take off the serpentine belt. Now we're gonna not disassemble, but we're gonna disconnect the battery. Okay, battery cable, disconnect it. I usually just remove the negative. So now we're gonna go ahead and remove, like I said, first the lines, then the AC compressor, and then the alternator, and then we're gonna disassemble the rest. I brought most of the tools that I need here because I want to be able to get inside of this truck and start disassembling it from inside. So I'm gonna set you guys up somewhere where you guys can see the whole process, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started. So give me 1 second. Here we go. We have you guys set up right here on the hood latch, and I will be swinging the camera back and forth so you guys can see what I'm doing. But if this is your very first time interacting with any of my videos, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel if you guys like this content. I'm just a truck driver that's trying to make it in YouTube and social media in general, and mostly because I want to be able to see my family more. I'm working outside of my house, which is great for me. So this is our truck. We bought it for $750 a couple of weeks ago. The engine was already messed up. I have a video of disassembling the engine. I have a video of taking this motor that we picked up at the pick parts, grabbing it, put it in here, and then I have other videos from this truck. So if you're interested in that, there'll be a link in my description below. And now let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing, like I said, we're gonna remove the AC compressor and the alternator as well. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on that. Now I'm thinking that once I do remove the intake manifold, I might go back to the original intake manifold, the one from the 97 truck. So this motor is from a 2001. That's why you guys will see all the electronic connectors on there, the butt connectors. I originally left the 2001 injectors on here, and then I spliced them into the harness. I kept getting a random misfire code. I thought, oh, maybe it's the injectors. Went back to the other ones, still got it. Then I went to distributor cap and rotor, still got it. Changed out the spark plug wires, still had it. Changed out the spark plugs because I never did that. We were in a hurry to finish this truck so we could take it out camping. And then I changed the spark plugs, and guess what? You're right, still had the code. So then I grabbed some brake cleaner, and the other night I sprayed it into the valley of the intake manifold, and guess what? The RPMs changed. So we're gonna go ahead and remove the intake manifold, and we're gonna replace the plenum. So these actually have a dual gasket, and I will show that to you guys once I remove the part itself. But basically it has an intake manifold gasket, It has the intake manifold gasket, and then right underneath the intake manifold, there's a small part called the plenum. Now that plenum has to be replaced as well when you remove the intake manifold. They always say you can tell, and I can smell the oil, guys. There's oil in there. There's leaking oil in there. Basically meaning that intake manifold is actually bad. The intake manifold gasket is bad. Now, depending on what kind of car you have, you might want to be careful removing the AC lines because they might be pressurized. Mine, I know they're not pressurized. I know that when I disassembled the motor, I actually took off all the freon off of it. And then the previous owner, the AC compressor, wasn't working, so they never refilled it or anything. And then we're gonna, without moving the lines too much, we're gonna get them out of the way because those lines are kind of fragile. They like to be babied or whatever. Then I put a zip tie right here for this line. I'm gonna go ahead and break that off. Most cars will always have a grounded wire somewhere on the intake. Now, we're just gonna keep removing pieces. So I'm gonna remove, like I said, the alternator, the AC compressor, and then disconnect all the wires and all the sensors off of here. So I'm gonna go ahead and time lapse this. Throttle cable, we're gonna go ahead and use our Kirschner knife. We're gonna slowly pry that up, then that comes off, and then we're able to pull it off this way, and then we're gonna go ahead and put it somewhere where it's not gonna bother us anymore. We're gonna go ahead now and remove the AC compressor, set it somewhere where it won't bother you, and then the alternator, we have to remove all of these cables actually, so we can be able to remove all that. So what I like to do from time to time is I will put back the bolts where I removed them. That way I don't forget where they go, and I don't have bolts laying around everywhere. So I like to be organized with that. Now let me go get a size 7 to be able to remove these two. So give me one quick minute. We want to go ahead and grab a size 7, take one off, take the second one off, and then there's another size 10 over here. This alternator actually has 2 grounds, which is, well, I mean, that was the design back then, you know. I'm not gonna fight with those engineers on that one. Don't know why they did it, but they did it. It's all right, I don't mind on those. But let me tell you something about the engineer that designed those damn plastic little clips. There is a special place in hell for that guy, because those dang clips always mess me up. Alternator, not so much. All right, now, these trucks, you have to remove this whole thing to be able to access the other couple of bolts for the intake manifold, and it gives you more space. So there's a couple of 15mm bolts that go onto this top piece. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove those now. This over here is the water heater hose, and there's one bolt that holds this pipe down here. I have to remove that bolt, move this piece out of the way, and then also the oil over here, the oil dipstick, I have to remove this bolt right here and move that out of the way. So there's one. And normally I would take off the shroud, the fan. I would do a little extra more, but it's okay. If I was in a hurry, then yeah, I'd do that so I can use the power tools. I'm not really in a hurry. Might be in a hurry later on installing it, but it's okay. Once we get there, we'll get there. Now there's another one right here. Now, if you have a Dodge Ram, you don't want to confuse the water pump bolts with this top mount bolts. They are a little confusing, so you gotta be careful with that. Oh, come on. Ooh, ow. That freaking hurt. I used to have a power ratchet too, and then it broke. There we go. There's a piece. And oh my God, look at all them spider webs. Holy bejesus. Where are them spiders at? Now, usually these are the biggest culprits there is to any leak, and you always want to replace these. But this looks brand new. The truck already had 90,000 miles on it when I got the engine off of the truck from the pickup part, so we should be fine with that one. If I see that I need it, then I will, once I remove it, then I will go to the AutoZone or the O'Reilly's or Napa and get a replacement hose for it. For now, we're just gonna keep on keeping on and taking stuff off. Okay. All right, so next thing is basically removing all the electrical components. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this heater hose, well, this hose from the water pump to the intake manifold. And go ahead and take off that clamp. So quick little tip on these. When the hose just doesn't want to budge, I will literally grab my pliers, open them up basically the width of the hose, and then grab the hose, not too tight though, and just wiggle it until you hear a satisfying little pop. That basically means the section's off. There it is. So once that pop is done, then I know that hose will come off cleanly. And then we're gonna go ahead and remove the other hose clamp. Oh wow, look, there's a bolt right here. And there goes the other side. And the hose, like I said, it looks fairly new. It looks nice and clean. Looks like they took care of this truck. Well, the engine, they took care of the truck that the engine came out of. So take off all the electrical plugs, plug off. There's an O-ring right here that I think is from one of the injectors, because I already removed the injectors off of the old Planum. Like I said, if you guys seen my other videos, I did that last week thinking that it would fix the issue, and it didn't. There's a vacuum line back there. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and keep removing everything, and then I will get right back with you guys. So give me 1 second. Everything from one side and the other side is completely disconnected. What I'm gonna do now is grab the vacuum and vacuum out the valley. That way I don't drop anything into the engine bay, and it'll be a nice clean removal. So let me go grab the vacuum first, and then I'll take off the 13mm bolts from both sides and remove that intake manifold. We're gonna go ahead and blow air through it, loosen everything up. We're gonna go ahead and vacuum out everything. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and remove all 13mm bolts from there, and then pull off the intake manifold. Now with the ratchet, and then 2 more on the other side. There should have been another bolt then on this side. Looks like it's broken. The last bolt all the way in the back looks like it's broken, so I have to look into that. Now let me go ahead and get a pry bar, lift up the intake manifold, and remove it. There we go. Yeah. And I freaking knew it. Look at that. Do you guys see that stud all the way in the back? That's not supposed to be there. That's broken. So I gotta take that off and fix that. So this is 1, 3, 5, 7. This is the one that's giving me issues, and it looks fine. This is the gasket. This side is cylinder 5, the one that was giving me issues right here. Doesn't look damaged or anything. But like with everything, we won't know until we actually remove it. Remove the gasket. Clean up the gasket material off of here. Clean up the gasket material off of this side. And then we put a brand new gasket on there. We won't know until all that is done. So might as well go ahead and do that. This is an intake manifold from a 2001 Dodge Ram 1500 5.9 Magnum 5.9 thick and fine. And this one is from a 1997 Dodge Ram 1500 5.9 thick and fine Magnum. So they're basically the same intakes. The only thing is I got to see which one do I want to use. Do I want to use the 2001 or the 1997? And for that, well, I'm going to take a look at them, see which one's better. Now, I removed the injector from the 1997 to put it on the 2001. And there was a small O-ring floating around. So I'm going to see. Hopefully the O-ring doesn't belong to one of these injectors, and that's why it was leaking so much. But let me show you guys something. Underneath, you guys can see this plenum right here. These gaskets will actually leak, and it will leak oil into the cylinder inside. And you can see that there is oil leakage through there. So that gasket was bad. Now on this one, this one's pretty bad as well. And there was a lot more leakage through. So just basically I want to see which one I want to use, and then we'll go through with that. The differences between both of them is this one has the one from the 97 has one sensor and two sensor plugs right there. This one only has one. It doesn't have the second one. Now the second one, if you guys remember from my old videos, I had to get one of those and plug the sensor right there. Now I already have the sensor plugged in, so I don't need to fix any of that. Now looking at them side by side, the 97 and the 2001, I should use the 2001 because it does look a lot more newer. A lot of the parts are a lot more newer. This one has 190,000 miles. This one has 90,000 miles. No, 194,000 miles and 90,000 miles. So I might as well just use this one. I have to clean everything up from it. As you guys can see, there's a whole bunch of dirt and grime all over it. And then the only other thing is this one has this one on this side. This one has a PCV valve on the passenger side. This one has a PCV valve on the driver's side. And this one has both of them blocked off right there. So if I wanted to use this one, I would have to block this one off and unplug this one. But like I said, I might as well just use the 2001 one. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the camera to charge a little bit, clean these up, and then I'll get right back with you guys in a second. Give me 1 minute. Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and remove the upper part, but it's basically the bottom part. So I put the intake manifold upside down, and I'm just removing the bottom part of it so I can be able to remove that gasket and replace it with the brand new one. Does not look bad. Oh no, yeah, look. See all that oil right there at the bottom? That basically means oil is getting sucked up into this thing, therefore leaking from somewhere. And that's why we had a leak. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the inside over here. Let me show it to you guys so you guys can see it. So this is basically the intake valley. There's a throttle body down there. And it is, let's see, upside down. So this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 1, 3, 5, 7. And This is number 5 right here, which would make it this one right here. So it was leaking somewhere in there more than the rest. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean that up now, and then I will get right back with you guys in a little bit. So give me 1 second. Basically, I'm scraping everything off with this, and I'm not like digging into it. I'm just barely scraping the surface. Kind of like if you're shaving. Think of that. You're shaving, you know, you want to take off all the hair. You just don't want to cut the skin. And leaving it super smooth. So that's all I'm doing. This part right here. I might add a little tiny layer of silicone. I have some of that high temp silicone, and I might add some of that also so that this doesn't happen again. But this is a common issue with these engines. This and also the valve seat on cylinder 5 always falls. That's where I'm like, ooh, hopefully this fixes it. If not, I'm looking at disassembling another engine, and yeah. All right, so let me clean off the other one, and then once I get the gasket on it, I will get back with you guys. So give me 1 second. All right, we're gonna go ahead and add just a tiny little bit of silicone. So you guys can see that it's like a very minute. I'm not even squeezing the bottle.
Tappa, tappa, tappa.
It's gonna be very thin, very, very thin. Okay. Do it on this part too. We don't want that thing leaking, so. This is a lot of work for just a little intake manifold gasket, so want to make sure it's not gonna leak ever again while I have the truck. There. As you guys can see, it's a very thin piece of silicone on there. Now we're gonna grab the gasket. Now this one's a metal gasket, so they switched it up on us. Because they already knew that these things leak. They knew that these things leak a lot. They know it. So they just said, hey, let's just give them a metal gasket. I believe the torque on these is 1 UGA. From the power tool. From the impact gun. It's 1 UGA. 1 UGA should be fine. Star pattern. Now, same process. I'm gonna go ahead and scrape off all this gunk off of here, and then once that's ready, I will get back right with you guys. So give me 1 second. All right, y'all. So as you guys can see, the weather's changed. It's darker now. It's 5 o'clock right now. So we already scraped up on this side and on this side. This side's clean. The only thing we have to do now is clean up the inside over there and scrape all that off, take off all that gunk. We also have to take off that back bolt back there. It's stuck on there, so I have to get that one off. Here's the old gaskets. One of my buddies came over with his Jeep, and his battery and his auxiliary battery were bad, so we had to swap them out for him. And so we got that done. I didn't get to record any of that. We were just talking most of the time. But yeah, so now what we're gonna do is go ahead and scrape off the... Oh my God, I almost died. I almost fell. We're gonna scrape off the valley. I'm gonna go ahead and set up the lights and everything so that I can see. And I will see you guys in a little bit. Give me 1 second. Okay, guys, so now I'm gonna set you guys up where you guys can see. I'm not gonna be wearing my mic, so you guys might not be able to hear me a lot, but at least you guys will be able to see what I'm doing. So let me set you guys up. Scraping that off. Now I'm gonna start over here by cylinder 2, and then work my way in. As you guys can see, it's the same process. It's not really anything different. The only thing is I don't want a lot of these shavings to go into the valves. So I want to be able to scrape it off this way. Now all of this, I'm going to vacuum all this up. I have to remove this bolt, so I'm going to go look for the tool. I'm going to turn off the light, turn this off, and then I'm also going to go get the vacuum. So give me one quick second, guys. Okay, so here we go. I got the vacuum. And here's that socket set that I was telling you guys about. All it is basically a socket, and it has a hole in the middle. And then you just see which one's going to fit. But then when you loosen it, it gets stuck. So let me go get the ratchet. Get the ratchet right on it. It won't come out. It's seized in there. What the heck? This thing is seized in there. I'm gonna put some flame on that thing and then try to take it off again. I also don't want to get it too hot because these are the heads. So
1 minute 37 seconds later.
Okay, let's see. There you go. It broke free. And you see how I'm holding the socket? What I'm doing is basically keeping that pressure on there. There you go. Look at that. I don't want to touch it. I think it's gonna be hot. Oh, it's hot. There. Ooh. Ooh. There it is. There's the bolt, and that goes in the trash. So here it is. Matco Tools SR102. I'm pretty sure there's cheaper ones out there. You just gotta look for them. I've had these since I was 22 years old. So yeah, I don't know if they make. I'm pretty sure Harbor Freight probably has some. So look them up. These are great. If you still have the stud out there like that, these are perfect. And then just add some heat like I just did. Now since that stud was on there, I'm gonna go ahead and finish the cleaning process all the way back there. And I already got a replacement bolt from the other truck. Look at all this crud that was on there. Probably somebody tried removing it already, or they tried tightening it, and that's where it broke. All right, let me get the vacuum now. Alrighty guys, so as you guys can see, everything is set, ready to install. But I have to go pick up the pizza for the kids, so give me one quick second. I will be right back. All right guys, as you guys can see, the night has won yet again. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave the truck how it is. I haven't put the intake on it yet. I already cleaned everything off. It's basically just put it on there and assemble everything back together. But I want to be able to record that for you guys. So for me, it's gonna be a couple of days. For you guys, it's gonna be a second. So give me 1 second. All right guys, so it's been a while since I've worked on the Dodge Ram, and as you guys can see, I have different clothes on and everything. And the reason, I don't know where my compression tester kit is at, so I had to go get a new one from our buddies at Harbor Freight. So the reason I wanted to get a pressure tester is it's better if I show you guys. So I removed the valve cover, as you guys can see. Now let me show you guys one valve in particular that is, not that it's scaring me, but I want to double make sure all is good, okay? Now the cylinder that is misfiring is cylinder number 5. Now these Magnum engines have a very big tendency for the valves to go out. Okay, basically the valve seat is where the valve sits at, basically, right? So you want to have a good seal on there so that the air doesn't escape either on the exhaust side or the intake side. Now, these Magnum engines have a very big tendency for the valve seats to actually implode on themselves or get destroyed, and then they don't create a good vacuum seal on there. So now when I remove the valve cover on this side, number 5. Let me show you guys. You guys see this one right here? You guys see how that one is completely different than all the other ones? Now that is the exhaust side. I'm thinking that they've already replaced it because they've already had some sort of issue on that side. And if that is the case, that is no bueno for us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take off that spark plug. I'm going to go ahead and insert this on there. We're going to go ahead and see that what the compression of that piston is. If it's low, we're going to need to take off that head and fix it. So yeah, good thing with these engines is I could actually take off that head where it's sitting. And since it's, I mean, the timing, I don't have to mess with the timing or anything because it's not overhead cam. So yeah, but I'm going to go ahead and take off that spark plug, put this compression tester kit on there, and we're going to go ahead and see what the compression is together. I'll set you guys up right there.
Brother,
About 90 psi. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove another one of these spark plugs and basically test it out against that one. But it's looking like we're gonna have to remove this head. I could probably do a leak down test on it. That's cylinder number 1. 120. All right, so as you guys saw, that 70 psi is what that cylinder is giving us, which is not good. That is way too little. So what I'm gonna do now is go ahead and do a pressure, a leak down test on it and see where the air is gonna come out of. So let me set that up. Give me a second, I'll set you guys up so you guys can see. We're gonna go ahead and pressurize the system now. And we're both gonna find out at the same time. I think I hear it in the exhaust. You guys hear that? That is a sound of an exhaust valve leaking. That's it. We have to take apart that head. You know what? Luckily, that side it will be the driver. This side. Next video, we're gonna see if the head from the old engine, this engine, if that head is good, we might just be able to take that head off, drop this new head in there, bolt it up, and we should be good.
right.
Rocking and rolling. So yeah, I'm gonna start disassembling this head throughout the week, and we're gonna drop this head in that truck inside of the Dodge. We're gonna drop it inside the Dodge Ram. So far, guys, this is where we're at with the truck. And you guys are probably going to see the videos back and forth, because you guys probably already saw a video of this. You guys saw a video of that engine over there on the engine stand. But it's because I'm trying to record as much content as I can while I'm working basically night shifts. As you guys can tell, like I'm basically dead right now. I got to go to sleep. I'm going to sleep like 3 hours or something. But it's all because of you guys. I want to be able to grow this channel. I want to be able to give you guys great content, show you guys some tips and tricks, and also show you guys that, hey, don't be discouraged if your own personal vehicles don't work the way that you want them to. It's okay. It's a-okay. Everything will be great. But yeah, guys, so I'll leave this video here. Basically, we have to swap out that head. It's leaking out of the exhaust. It's unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. Can't really get mad at it. Can't really complain about it. It's just, it is what it is. I gotta fix it. Thank you guys so much for watching. On the description below, I will also leave a link to all the Amazon products that I use, like this compression leak down tester. I have a whole bunch of other tools that I will put on my description below as well, so you guys can go ahead and grab some of those. If you guys buy anything off of my Amazon affiliate links, then I get a small kickback on that, which will greatly help me out. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate every single one of you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Oh, we're getting stickers again. So I already put in an order with my sticker lady, and she's gonna go ahead and start making some stickers for us, and hopefully start handing them out. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate every single one of you guys. Much love to every single one of you guys. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. That's wrestling. So pretty much I gotta go home now, shower, get ready for bed, and go to work in like 2 hours.